Your conference championships have been decided. The Kansas City Chiefs win an absolute epic in Buffalo, 27-24 over Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Can you believe it? Wide right. Wide right for the Buffalo Bills. The Detroit Lions, 31-23 at home over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to advance to play the 49ers in the NFC Championship. Let's discuss these games. I want to start with the Chiefs and the Bills. Very good game. So much drama, so much back and forth. Two offenses that really have lost rhythm throughout the season. Kansas City, this is the worst offense they've had under Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. And they maybe had their most complete, best performance when they needed it the most on the road in Buffalo. And the Buffalo Bills offense, playing an elite defense on the other side, was able to go, for the most part, toe-to-toe with Kansas City all day. But the toe of Bass misses the kick from 44 that would have sent this game to a tie game with 1:40 left in the game for Patrick Mahomes to give us another game-winning drive potential. And that's what sucks about it, because we saw pretty much everything in this game. We saw fumbles out of the end zone by Mecole Hardman that the Bills were able to recover. We saw fake punts that failed from Sean McDermott and Damar Hamlin. We saw fumbles by Josh Allen and Hardman and others that were recovered by their own teammates' efforts. We saw great running days from James Cook and Isaiah Pacheco, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Josh Allen. We saw great individual efforts. But man, what a game. And we said, to break it down, it would be tight. It would be close. It would be decided in the fourth quarter. It could go either way. And ultimately, it did. It did. It could have went either way. It really could have. But Bass just didn't muster up enough on that kick to put it through the uprights. And he sent the Chiefs to the AFC Championship. Phenomenal performance by both quarterbacks and both offensive coordinators. I want to specifically give credit to Joe Brady, who I thought had a phenomenal game plan, especially in the first half of this game, putting 17 points up in the first half against a very strong Kansas City defense. I want to give credit to Andy Reid and the offensive staff of the Chiefs for their decision to run heavy, to run it at an undermanned linebacking core of the Bills, and to make the necessary throws down the field, to get people open like Travis Kelce open down the field. You got to give a lot of credit to the Chiefs receiving core today. If you ask me who the better receiving core was in this game, it was the Kansas City Chiefs. From Rashee Rice to Valdez-Scantling, who made some of the best catches he has all year, probably had the best game he's had all year. The only receiver that sucked in this game from the Chiefs was Mecole Hardman. The running backs, Isaiah Pacheco was phenomenal. James Cook was really good. Brought that up already. But man, the Bills, the story of the Chiefs season has been their receivers have let them down, and the Bills receivers actually came up with some key drops at the wrong times. Stephon Diggs on a deep ball. Trent Sherfield on a deep ball. Not able to bring it in. Dalton Kincaid, the rookie, was the most impressive of the bunch, and both quarterbacks were equally great. I think Josh Allen maybe had to make a few more plays out of his rear end than Patrick Mahomes did, but Mahomes was super efficient, and he was able to get the ball where it needed to go. There was no play at any point where it felt like he was in any danger of turning it over. He scrambled when he needed to for a big play. He threw it when he needed to, down the field, vertically, in the middle of the field, underneath. Everything was working for the Chiefs offense for a majority of this game. Running it from the gun, from under center, screen game, underneath passing game, deep passing game. And for the Bills, I mean, Allen was amazing running the ball. Allen was breaking tackles. Allen was shoving people into the end zone. Allen made some great throws. Ultimately, maybe he'd like to have a throw or two back, as any guy that lost by a field goal would. But man, I have nothing else to say other than this was a phenomenal game. 27-24. Mahomes 17 for 23, 215, and 2 touchdowns. That stat line doesn't do this game justice for him. But a great rushing day. Isaiah Pacheco, 15 for 97 and a touchdown. The old man, Travis Kelce, in potentially his last playoff run. 5 catches for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. Valdez-Scantling with 2 major catches for 62 yards. The Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, 26 for 39, 186 and a touchdown, rushing, leading the way on the ground for the Bills with 72 yards on 12 attempts and 2 rushing touchdowns. James Cook, 18 for 61, 45 yards from Kincaid, 44 yards from Shakir, and Stephon Diggs' disappointing effort once again against the Chiefs. 3 catches for only 21 yards on how many targets? 8 targets. Defensively, Jordan Poyer, to me, made the play of the game, batting the ball out of the hands of Mecole Hardman and saving Sean McDermott's job single-handedly with that fake punt decision. And the Chiefs, in the end, made a great stop to force a field goal. Chris Jones got enough of a rush. Their coverage held up enough in the red zone. And they were able to force a field goal attempt from Bass, who absolutely choked the kick. He absolutely choked the kick. He missed the kick. And I feel like we were robbed of an overtime outing between the Bills and the Chiefs. I feel like it was going to happen. But wide right has cursed the Bills for so long. And it continues. Now, as for the Chiefs and how they match up with the Ravens, who we saw yesterday and we spoke about yesterday, it's going to be their toughest game of the season. They didn't play this year. In past outings, it's gone back and forth. I think the Ravens have won the most recent outing. I think the Chiefs beat them the first couple times they saw each other in the Lamar-Mahomes rivalry, which is a low-key rivalry, very good game. Baltimore's going to host it. Baltimore's been the best team in the AFC all year. They're at home. They've got the best defense, but the Chiefs don't have a too shabby of a defense either. And if you watch the Texans play the Ravens in the first half, there is a reason to believe the Chiefs can implement a similar game plan. Blitz, play man coverage on the outside, and hope for the best against Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens are going to have to be ready for that. But if you're the Ravens, you also got to watch how the Bills were able to run the ball up and down the field against the Chiefs and have that as a big part of your game plan. On the other side of the ball, Patrick Mahomes is going to make his plays, but the Ravens defense is the best unit in the league. They've got a good pass rush. They've got the weapons to slow down Travis Kelce in the secondary, led by Kyle Hamilton. Fast, great linebackers with Roquan Smith and Pat Queen, and a really savvy front seven. Marlon Humphrey might be back next week. The Ravens will be favored. The Ravens deserve to be favored. They're the home team. They have the MVP, but you can't rule out the Chiefs. On the other game that happened today, because really I have nothing else to say. We saw everything we needed to see in that Bills and Chiefs game. It was a phenomenal game. We saw everything. Great passes, great runs, great scrambles, great defense. Not a lot of great defense, but small doses of it. Amazing dramatic calls. When we look at the Bucs and the Lions, 31-23 Lions. This game was closer than I thought early in the game and throughout the game. I thought the Bucs really played a solid game and did about as much as they could, especially offensively. I thought if the Bucs were going to win this game, they were going to have to win it, in a tight defensive battle in some way, shape, or form. But they hung in there with a lot of big throws from Baker Mayfield, with a lot of savviness, a lot of heart, a lot of toughness, a lot of grittiness from Baker Mayfield. But at the end of the day, the Lions were simply just the better overall team. The Lions' offensive line played better. The Lions' crowd came out lit with fire. And I felt like the Lions' ability to run the ball at the end of the game, Jahmyr Gibbs hitting a big run, Jared Goff just having all the answers to the test in the fourth quarter, getting the ball out against the blitz, finding the right man. Amon-Ra St. Brown being absolutely clutch. On the other side, Mike Evans was unstoppable. Mike Evans was the engine of the Bucs. Patrick Mahomes, no pressure on Mahomes, says MG. We'll see, buddy. We'll see. It's going to be a great championship Sunday. Continuing with the Lions and the Bucs. A good game. Very good game. Not quite as good as the Chiefs and the Bills, but it gave us more drama. We've had 3 great games in a row. I was going on a soliloquy about the Niners and the Packers last night. Mayfield, 26 for 41, 349, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. The one pick at the end cost them. And big difference was between Baker threw, 300 plus yards and 3 tutties. And man, my phone keeps going off. I apologize for that. I'm going to have to hold this phone in my hand so that you guys can't hear all the vibrating. But man, I'm a loss for words. I'm just crazy. It's been crazy today. Been crazy the last 2 days. 287 yards, 2 touchdowns. No picks for Jared Goff. Huge difference in the game. At the end, Jared Goff was protected. He came through with the throws necessary. Gibbs, 8.2 yards per carry. 9 rushes, 74 yards. 31-yard touchdown. Amon-Ra, 8 catches, 77 yards and a touchdown. Laporta, 9 catches, 65 yards. Was moving the chains left and right. And the Bucs, 26 for 41, 349, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 2 rushes for 15 yards for Baker Mayfield, 9 rushes, 55 yards, 6.1 yards per carry for Rachaad White, 8 catches, 147 yards. Mike Evans was a monster in this game, kept the Bucs in it. Chris Godwin had 4 for 40, Otton had 5 for 65, and continued his great performance from the Eagles game. But defensively, I just felt like the Bucs, while they did have some nice stops, Kalijah Kancey with a key sack in the first half, the Bucs really had the momentum at halftime. Really, this game just came down to the fourth quarter. The Lions jumped ahead by 2 touchdowns. They were able to take care of business. And at the end of the day, a lot of people are not going to give the Lions much of a chance next week. I think we learned our lesson with the Packers and the Niners. I will say it's going to be tough to count on Brock Purdy to have as bad of a game as he did this week, right? Brock Purdy's going to be much better. Going to throw my phone at the couch. My goodness. The Niners are going to play much better. The Niners are going to be much more on their details. The Niners are going to be better. It's just, especially if it doesn't rain. So the Lions are going to have to bring their A game. The Lions are going to have to bring their A+ game. We'll see if they can do that. They're going to be on the road. They're going to be back where they want to be, though. Biting kneecaps as underdogs. The Lions are going to have to run the ball successfully against the Niners to have success and to win that game. The Niners are going to have to make mistakes on offense. The Lions are going to have to pressure the Niners. They're going to have to get after Purdy and cause some mistakes. It's going to be tough to do. But the Lions, they've really cherished the opportunity to be an underdog. And this was the game they were favored. And they were able to come through at home in front of the Detroit fans. I appreciate everybody that tuned in, man. Great streams today, man. Great stuff. Bills Chiefs was epic. Bucs Lions was a really good game. Packers Niners was excellent as well. We will see you soon. I'll be live on Bleacher Report tomorrow morning. Link is in the description if you want to follow me over there on the BR app. I will be ranking and determining where I believe the head coaches will land this offseason. The rest of them. Harbaugh to the Chargers, maybe. Vrabel to the Seahawks, potentially. Belichick to the Falcons. I'll discuss all that tomorrow morning. Chiefs Ravens is going to be great. Niners Lions could be epic. Can't wait for next week. Those are my thoughts on the games this week, man. My head hurts. I got a headache. I need some food. I'm footballed out. Appreciate everybody. Gronk Spike, the like button, subscribe. We'll see you later, guys. Peace.